Thank you very much, and welcome back. This is our second last candidate. And the second last candidate is going to give us her presentation. And again, the topic, as was given by the panel this morning, is you are given an opportunity to lead the City of Windhoek as its CEO. Please highlight from three ways or strategic interventions that needs to be implemented to ensure the sustainability of the City of Windhoek's strategic direction in these complex and unpredictable times. Kindly indicate both short-term, meaning within a period of 100 days, and long-term within a period of 5 years. Any key strategic interventions which would contribute to a smart and caring city. Our next presenter is Joyce Mukubi. Please take the podium. Yeah, please switch on your microphone. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity for me to do the presentation. As introduced, my name is Joyce Mukubi, and I'm going to present as per the presentation topic that we were requested to highlight 3 key strategic interventions that needs to be implemented to ensure sustainability of the City of Windhoek strategic direction. My presentation covers both the 100 days, the first 100 days in office, and I have put it together with the long term, which is 5 years, the strategic period. My presentation contains 3 parts. I have an introduction, and then I will explain the 3 key strategic interventions, and then I will conclude my presentation. To start with the introduction, I have defined what is a smart city. In my presentation, a smart city municipality is one that uses information and communication technologies to increase operational efficiency, share information with the public, and improve the quality of government services and the citizen welfare. I've also described the core infrastructure that defines a smart city, which are adequate water supply, electricity, sanitation, including solid waste management, effective urban mobility and public transport, affordable housing, especially for the poor, robust ICT connectivity, digitalization, and good governance. So those are the core components that makes a smart city. The 3, one of the key strategic interventions that I would look at, before I go into the interventions, I had looked at the budget for City of Windhoek, and I've realized that there is a deficit in the budget. So when we look at interventions, we need to also look at what is that we can afford, and what is that the city can afford now. The first one, I've looked at predictable infrastructure investment. For a smart city to be responsive, it is important to have the required infrastructure in place. I've already explained the various infrastructure that we would need. As a new CEO, within my 100 days, I would assess the current situation and analyze the needs of the city in terms of available infrastructure and what is required. I would also engage in extensive consultations with all stakeholders, and most importantly, the residents of the city. We would generate ideas on how to improve the current infrastructure. I would underline to say we, and that is not only the city, it's extensive consultation. With that, we would also look at the affordability to invest and the source of funding. Where are we going to get the funds in view that we have a limited budget? So that is what I'm going to look at within the 100 days. The second strategic intervention, I would look at responsive debt management. To start with the 100 days, I would familiarize myself with the current status quo and the systems that are in place. I would go out there and research on best practices, look at the pros and cons of the current debt management system in place at the City of Windhoek. Again, it is very important that I do extensive consultation with all relevant stakeholders. Once that is done, then we can implement a system that is beneficial and cost-effective. I'm saying cost-effective because I have learned that the city does not have enough funds for all the good things that we want to do. And then we would monitor and evaluate the responsiveness of that debt management. The last one that I would look, the intervention that I would look at is competitive property taxes. I would look at the current status and prices that the City of Windhoek is currently charging. The reason for that is that we have the informal settlements there, we have the upper market, we have different areas. So I want to look at how fair are we to the residents of Windhoek. Do we charge the same? Is it competitive? Do we overcharge or do we undercharge? So I'm saying I would do a comparative analysis with the information that is currently on board to ensure that the City of Windhoek does not undercharge or overcharge property tax rates. In doing that, I would consider the low-income clients. I know for now that there are people who can't pay their rates and taxes as well. So we need to understand what is the challenge that causes that. And we as City of Windhoek, how best can we assist our residents to ensure that we provide the service that we want? Again, consultation is very important with the relevant stakeholders, both internally and externally, because we want that what we do is value for money. And we want that our customers understand that we are not just there to make money, we are there to serve them. And we want to bring out that smart city that we keep saying on our vision. So we are not just saying a smart city because we want to milk money from our residents. So I think we need to do consultation and understand what is their views and what is our views. One thing I would like to mention is that currently the residents of Windhoek do not have much trust in the city for various reasons. One of the issues they would say is that the city is there to make money and they don't care about us. When I defined what is smart city, one of the issues that I mentioned is accessible land. We know the current status now. Does the city have money to assist them in that area? How do we create trust with the residents that they would even feel at the end of the day, I need to go and pay my water and electricity, instead of going to pay Edgar's and they say, no, City of Windhoek can wait. And that's why we need to look at the debt management as well. In conclusion, the above interventions will be part of the strategic plan for the City of Windhoek for the next 5 years. I have noted that the strategic plan is due to end in 2022. It's the right time for the City of Windhoek to go back and take stock. What have we done for the last 5 years? What is that we want to do going forward? What are the challenges and what are the recommendations that we need to go forward? Of course, currently there are so many challenges that are there. Does the current strategic plan address that? What is that we need to do to the residents of Windhoek so that they feel wanted and they feel that we are looking after them? Targets will be set to monitor the sustainability of the strategic interventions that the City of Windhoek has embarked on for the next 5 years. And during the 5 years, the city will be able to identify any shortcomings and propose solutions to ensure that the objectives are met. While we do all this, it's very clear that we need to put in mind the impact brought about by COVID-19 and the challenges the economy is currently facing. So it's not everything on a silver plate. And to conclude, finally, I would say if we want a smart city, it should therefore be responsive, intelligent, connected, and sustainable. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce Mukubi. I think what we need to do now is briefly introduce the panelists. Can I start with Mr. Mayambel?
I'm called Mujua George Mayambel, and I'm acting Chief Executive Officer of the Municipality of Windhoek, and also in this role now, chairing the interview panel.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. I call myself John Walters. I was the former ombudsman.
My name is Esther Kali. I'm the CEO for Letseho Holdings Namibia.
Good afternoon. The trend is to attribute your name to other people. So my father named me Lamek Shimoshiri Uyapa, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director in the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Archie Benjamin. I'm the CEO of Soko Municipality. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mukubi, and welcome. My name is Rosalia Martin Shalsiku, and I'm the CEO of the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Marius Kudumo. I'm the Director of International Relations at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Elia Haindongo, the Union Observer.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I think before we get the panelists to ask questions, let's ask the mayor to ask his standard question that he, puts to all the applicants. Mayor Mupanda, floor is yours. Thank you.
Chair, you caught me by surprise. But this process is run independently, so we just have to comply. Ms. Mukubi, it's a general question to all the candidates, and I think one of the things that you have done well, although you are kept in the room, I'm told nobody sees what others are presenting. It seems that all of you have done some sort of environmental scanning. You're all talking about our strategy ending next year. You're all talking about our debt. You're all talking about those specific aspects. So you kind of have an idea. This organization for itself, not us, it attempted to do its own postmortem. Not that it's dead, but it tried to understand what is actually going on by conducting what is called a culture survey. It deals with a lot of things, including processes and how do people respond, what is a prevailing attitude and perception and things like that. Now, obviously, what comes out implicitly in that culture survey is this tendency of the officials to have, obviously, even outside the survey itself, but it's a tendency that we are also experiencing where employees form relationship in the institution. I'm not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. That's not. They form toxic relationship between the employees and the councillors, and the line becomes so blurry in terms of all those things. To an extent that it paralyzed this institution for the past 10 years, to an extent that the employees and the councillor were paraded at the State House and given instruction unsuccessfully so by the president to solve all their problems. But you have a person who's a CEO who's employed on a full-time basis, and councillors are part-time, and these ones that are forming a relationship are your employees, are your subordinate, and the ones that are forming a relationship with these ones are your bosses. It's a very delicate space to